Your confidence seems to be up and up with every game, especially after beating someone seated ahead of you. Is that the case? Are your expectations a little higher now?
Well, Aga's a difficult opponent for me. I think for anyone, really. And she poses a lot of problems. She gets a lot of balls back. She hits a lot of tricky shots. And it was a tough-fought match, and I can't help but to be proud of myself for the way I competed and continued to fight out there. So I think in doing that, that gives me a lot of confidence.
Just your second win over her, but obviously on a really great stage to get that win. What did you learn from previous matches with her that you brought today?
Well, I'm not really going to count the Toronto matches much to learn off of anything. So I would say, I know what she's capable of doing in putting me in uncomfortable situations. It's more of just what am I going to do to counteract that? And I decided today, I was going to hold strong in the rallies. Fight for the long games was a big focus of mine, and compete really hard. And I think it translated to my tennis game was really the competing really hard moments. I was making a lot of long service games for her, and I think that eventually started to wear into her service games the longer and longer the match went on.
Former junior champion here, but it's your second week here at the U.S. Open. I'm curious if you brought a different approach to this fortnight that maybe you hadn't before?
Well, now that the mix is canceled, I can actually appreciate that I'm in the second week. I was still in match mode all of 20 minutes ago. But no, I'm really happy with getting to the second week. It's a step closer to what I would like to do here, and my approach hasn't been much different. I mean, maybe a little bit mentally, I've been more selfish with just kind of my time, what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do, as far as being an American in New York. And for me, I have lots of friends and family, and it's kind of pick and choose my time wisely.
Just to follow on, you made a decision before the match that you were going to stay in the rallies and show as much patience as she has shown, not only today but over the years?
No, today was a main focus for me, more so than probably previous matches. I think previous matches, first of all, I was under a different coach, so it was a different idea to my game. So I think today was first and foremost the amount of patience.
Yes, hi. You're playing Safarova. What are you thinking about that?
Oh, it's fun to play a lefty. I like playing lefties, so there's not enough of them on tour to kind of really get to play a lot against them. But I'm excited to have the opportunity to play against Lucy, and I know she's a tough competitor. She's former top 10 in the world, finalist at a Grand Slam, so she's definitely no slouch at all.
CoCo, how has your relationship with your coach Pat progressed since you kind of brought him onto your team? And I guess if there's any one area that you think he's really improved in your games in this relatively short period of time, what would you say it is?
I would say harnessing the tenacity that I already have in the right way. I think Pat gives me a very specific goal of what to do with the energy and fire that I do bring to the court, and I think it's worked very well.
CoCo, I apologize if this was asked before, but how do you think about how some of you and how some of the other women in the Americans are doing? And also, is there an opportunity here to kind of show people with Serena out that there are other Americans that are doing well and that the future is bright?
Well, I think the other Americans have always been doing well with or without Serena. I think Serena's a very hard person to catch in what she's been doing, but I think we've been progressing. I think the girls all around my age have been moving up through the rankings, doing better in Grand Slams. I haven't seen the results for today, so I can't really speak on the results of the Americans today. Sorry.
CoCo, what do you remember of your expectations when you won the girls' championship as far as what you might do in the main draw eventually?
Well, I already had my main draw shout that year, so I kind of had a little bit of a taste. I was definitely expecting a way different kind of professional career at the get-go, but unfortunately it was not to be, with injuries, learning curve, and also a learning curve of what the professional tour is. I think a lot of that is not shown. I think it's getting shown more and more about the lower level tournaments, the challengers, how difficult it is to kind of make your way into the tour, not only financially, mentally, physically. I mean, I was 16, still growing, still maturing, and it took some time for me. I was very immature 16-year-old as far as development-wise, and I think it took some lumps, definitely, to get to where I am now.
What did that championship mean to you then, and what does it mean to you now?
The junior championship? Well, the trophy's still in my bedroom. It's a nice Tiffany's trophy. It was special. I never really played junior ITFs. I didn't really get it as far as what being number one junior in the ITFs meant. It was more important for me to be nationally ranked number one, and also in California to be ranked number one, because that was what was important back then. I don't think, at least for the Americans, maybe I was just closeted, but it wasn't really as important as it is now to be ranked ITF-wise. So playing ITF events, I only played a handful. I was going to regular school. I couldn't skip that much school. So to win, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having my moment out there with the trophy, winning my first gold ball, and that was exciting. I really liked it.
CoCo, that year you actually played under the lights, or they're actually playing Yankovic, and now it seemed like you really fed off the crowd today against Aga, now 3 Grand Slam second weeks out of 4 this year. How have you adjusted to being under the spotlight, maybe even being the favorite today against Aga?
Oh, I don't think I was a favorite by any means. 5-1 in the head-to-head, but totally different. I think I'm improving as far as settling it in a moment, and Arthur Ashe Stadium is one of the biggest moments in tennis, aside from probably Wimbledon's center court. And both those moments, my first try, Ashe at 16, and then against Maria at Wimbledon, were both nerve-wracking, to say the least. Thankfully, it rained for all of 10 minutes against Maria, and I was able to collect myself and actually have a restart. I was thankful for that. And then I mean, it's different. Still, even when I played the night match, it's different. It's electric. The stadium's buzzing. It's hard to put into words what it's like, where you feel the goosebumps when you hear everything going on and the lights go out and you walk out. It's wild.
You were talking about your development earlier. What, in your mind, what's been your biggest hurdle, and what are you most proud of that maybe you've developed in or overcome?
A lot of things. It's hard to pick one. I think I'm still developing as a person and also as a player. I think my biggest goal is to develop as a person, and a person that my family can be proud of, and also someone that I can be proud of at the end of the day. So as long as I'm moving in the right direction there for myself, I'll be happy.
Last question.
CoCo, you follow Lisa Vanderpump and Stassi Schroeder on Twitter. I'm curious just how big of a Bravo super fan are you?
I am a huge Bravo fan. I watch most of the Real Housewives. I watch Vanderpump Rules. So I really do enjoy Stassi Schroeder's Insta stories. They've been good. They've been funny. I enjoy it.
See yourself cameoing on one of those shows?
Hopefully not, but you never know. Maybe the Real Housewives will want to play tennis one day, but you never know.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Let's talk.